Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. Today I am finally wrapping up June in my reading journal for you all. I did a poll recently asking if you wanted to still see this footage, as I did film it earlier in the month of July. It is now the 1st of August when I'm narrating this, and I thought this footage would never make it onto the internet, but you guys really asked for this to come through, so here I am sharing the June wrap up in my reading journals. So I am just going through and adding all the book covers to the reading log, and then we can get into the stats page. June is always a month that I find very different from other months, mostly because I don't play any TBR games or readathons over June and December. So I find it really interesting how my reading habits change, and I definitely notice the difference of having a structured way of reading versus just kind of winging it. I still definitely tried to have some sort of semblance of a TBR, but it didn't really work over June. And I did read a lot of books that I didn't plan to during that month. I also picked up books that I did plan to, so kind of like a win-win. I can't be completely mad that the books that I picked up were, as a surprise, were there when they were really good. So overall, for the month of June, I had a really good reading month. I read a total of 13 books, so you'll see that I did a little tip in at the bottom of the page, since I'd only had enough spaces for 12 and I didn't see the point in doing another whole page just for one book. So I did a tip in, and out of them, I think the lowest rating was 3 stars. So for me, that's pretty good. Really happy with a lot of the reads over the month of June. There were some absolute favourites, and I did struggle to choose between some of them for my top read of the month, which happened to be One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Really loved this book. It was phenomenal, and I've spoken all about what I thought about all the books over June in my June reading update, which is already on the channel. I will link that in the description below. But yeah, overall I had a really good average of 4.4, which I think was the highest of the year so far at this point of filming. I do know that July was higher, but I can't complain. I just think that the month was really well-rounded. I didn't have a lot of bad reading. I think I only DNF'd one book, and I did try really hard to get through it because I wanted to watch the movie, and I wanted to read the book before the movie because the book is always better. And in this case, I think the movie is actually going to be better because I've already started the movie. I haven't watched very much of it, but The Idea of You by Robin Lee was not for me. I tried so hard to get through it. You can't see me writing it down now, but I did definitely DNF it. There it is, there on the list now. I got a lot of books over June. If you don't know, June was my birthday month. I was very fortunate to only have to purchase 3 of the 15 books that I got over June. Feeling very blessed by all the kindness that I received from my friends and family, knowing that books are a good present for me to get. I got quite a few books that I have been eyeing up and having on my wish list for quite some time. So that's why I'm having to write so many books on that other side there, and I do know that I'm incredibly fortunate to be able to write so many books on one list. And now I have the problem of having to redo my bookshelves because they're not all fitting. So that is a video that I will hopefully be filming sometime in August. I have something really cool that I want to share as well that I've purchased, so I might as well make a video out of it. But that is something that we can look at a later date. I'm very behind in getting videos out, and it is that time of the month in August where I start to share all the things from the last month. So let's get this June wrap up out, and then we can start focusing on July. I do have my August setup already filmed, my August TBR video filmed. I am setting up to film the July wrap up, so everything's in motion. It's just kind of waiting on me to edit it, and that does take some time. So be with me. We should hopefully be up to date in the first couple of weeks of August, and then we'll be able to continue on with hopefully a normal routine of posting videos. I'm not really sharing much about the stats over June. I feel like it was such a long time ago for me. I know it was only a month ago, but I don't really remember everything. I know that it was a great month for reading. I was surprised by how much I got done despite feeling quite relaxed and not focusing on reading as much. Over July, spoiler alert, I actually read less. So I thought June would be my slowest month, but it actually hasn't been. And obviously that has tied into the family emergency that I had at the start of the month of July, and the reason why this video was late. Also going to put a little disclaimer in, I'm not sure, I haven't listened back obviously because I'm still narrating this right now, but my mum is watching the Olympics, so if you can hear stuff in the background, it's just the TV. I do apologise. I do try to film these when there's no one else in the room or if it's a bit quieter, but I've run out of time and I really want to get this out to you all. Overall, I really enjoyed putting the stats page together though. I had a lot of leftover stickers that I made for this theme, which was Once Upon a Broken Heart, Magnificent North. I don't know if I decreased or increased the size of the stickers. I know that I had to print it out a second time. I also think that the colouring was a little bit weird, so I kept all the stickers all the same because sticker paper is not cheap, and had them in my little purple apple that I made, that's made of resin, which was quite fitting considering that apple was my Jack's apple. And I just stuck what was remaining on this setup, so filled in the gaps that way. There was a lot of white page at the bottom, especially on this side that we're working on right now. You can see on the top part of this page my favourite and least favourite read of the month. So for the least favourite to be only 3 stars, it was a really good time. Thank You Next was not a book that I thoroughly enjoyed. At first I was interested in it. It went downhill pretty quick, so it was just an okay read, but One Dark Window had me convinced that this is the type of reading that I need to be doing more often, and I cannot wait to pick up Two Twisted Crowns and also see where that lines up in the overall reading book bracket of the year, because so far The Familiar is still on top by 𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓭 with One Dark Window right behind it. So I actually had to do like a random generator to figure out whether or not The Familiar or One Dark Window was my favourite, because I just couldn't choose between them. They're two very different books, but both filled me with a great deal of joy. So yeah, I had to use a random generator for that one. But I am glad that I now know going into July, I've kind of got like a clean slate. The first 6 months is all sorted, and now I've got this July and onwards sort of way of being. So I've done all my July updates. I've actually filmed another video, now that I think about it, showing you what happens when I'm using my journal. So at the end of the month, there is a lot of stuff that I have to fill in. And if you're not using your journal every single day, it can add up to some time. So I've got some like behind the scenes footage that I'm going to put together in a video for you all as well, just showing you the things that I do to set up for a new month. Not in an actual setup video, but like after that video, I still have information that I have to put in when the pages have been like I've done the photography of them. So I decided to share that. Decided to share that with you all in another video. So that's another video I have to edit for you all. I have been a bit on a roll the last few days, like getting through my content and getting it ready. It's just that editing portion. So I'm going to have to spend a few nights really working on it from here out. The bookshelfie wasn't out of date, so I had to fill that in really quickly, and now we're on to the Days Read Pixel, and this went really smoothly. I still find this one weird because last year there were so many trends that I could follow. Every month there would be a day where it would have the same type of reading. So it's really interesting watching this book amount side come together and nothing really lining up for more than 3 or 4 months at a time. So it just goes to show that my reading habits this year are very different than from last year. I must have been into a bit more of a routine last year, and also I had a lot more time, so that would definitely be playing into things now. I am happy to see that on the format side, the one that I don't film anymore, sorry, you can tell that I read a lot of ebooks. I just put up my mid-year flip through, so I mentioned that in that video about how there's a lot of ebooks on there, and that would be because I read a lot of ARCs. And again, that's an interesting trend to have because I didn't have that information in 2024. It's a new thing that I added this year. I'm now digging out the monthly destination pictures from the back of the book. That's where I store everything, so I can bring it forward for the next month in these wrap-up videos. We're now done with the main journal and moving into my reading data journal and straight into the series tracker. I had two series that I mark off completely. So this one I finished, and then I mark off another one that I've decided to unhaul or discontinue. What is the word that I'm looking for? DNF. Yeah, I'm not going to be continuing on with another series. I have chosen that because I just don't vibe with the situation around it anymore. Oh, sorry, I actually finished two series in June. That's right. And then now I'm going to mark off that other one that I'm DNFing. But otherwise, this page went really well. Oh, actually, I'm getting surprises. I actually just edited this video and I completely forgot that there were three. I finished three series. Sorry, anyway, back to what I was saying. It was interesting that I had to add on a new series at the bottom of a book that I never thought was going to become a series. So the Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon is actually a series now. There's going to be three books in it. I read the second one just recently, absolutely loved it. And now I know that there's going to be a third one, so I had to add on extra space for that. And it was weird to go from having a green pen colour to having a purple one in between. But very excited to see how this page will finish out, and if I can finish a bit more on the series list with the pink lines, that means completed. So fingers crossed we can get that done. I have unhauled a couple of books. I've still got more that I'm unhauling at the moment. And I actually had quite a few that I could colour off that I own and have shown that I've read. So this is going really, really well. The one thing that you won't get to see me fill in today in this journal is the 2024 at a glance. I will show it in a moment, but I actually filmed, well, I don't actually think I filmed it, but I completely did the page over because there was a need for it to be fixed, and I knew I had to do it before the mid-year flip through, so I powered through that, and I ended up doing June already on the right side, so you don't get to see that in this video, I'm afraid. We're now at the final flip through for June. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and for requesting this video. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing it, and until we next meet, I hope you have fun reading or journaling, that you're well, and I will hopefully see you in another video very, very soon once I've edited it. So wish me luck. I've got a lot of editing to do. Bye everyone.